puss. I don't even know how long I plan on being on today. I don't really feel like doing much. Oh boy. So, what is new? What is new? Nothing, really. I don't have any real desire to catch my kid. Catch him. Who's a chicken? That just hit you. I hope it did. I don't want to have children. I mean, I don't want to have grandchildren. Not even a little bit. Knowing what I know about having children, and really, again, I can't stress it enough, it's how much I love my children. It means I don't want to have grandchildren. Not at all. So, something I haven't done in a few days, a while actually, is just put Israel into the Google machine and then click news and click sort by date and see what happens. Ex-Iranian foreign minister warns Israel, says avoiding future aggression is best for them. I mean, it's just disgusting. It's just disgusting that all of these other surrounding communities have signed their Abraham Accords and their normalization deals, and they don't come to the rescue of the Palestinians. Like, I can't imagine what it's like to be the Palestinians. How just defeated and forgotten and abandoned you must feel. Where, I get that there probably isn't one individual country in that region, Saudi Arabia, that could put on a good fight to Israel by itself. But if they all work together to defeat a common enemy, it's like there's no one in that region that's safe. This is just what's so weird about it. Oh, look, we have the McKenzie profile acknowledging that they're a pedophile, yet again, a proud pedophile. God, what I wouldn't give to get my hands on them just once, and beat them into the fucking ground. But they're cowards. We know they're cowards. They'll never show up. They'll never do anything. They're pedophiles. What do you expect from pedophiles, right? From Israeli friar pedophiles, because that's what this fucker is. And for those that don't understand, it's like an inside joke, because at this point, him saying he's proud is him saying he's proud to be a pedophile, because it wouldn't make sense any other way. Happy Proud Sunday. Who would say that? What would be the phonetic purpose of there? What is that word? Whatever. What would be the purpose of that statement? What would be the purpose of putting those two together, or those three words together? It's to show, like, those in the know that this is a pedophile. It's to show me that it's a pedophile. And it, just a cowardly piece of shit. So people wondering why I'm going into this little side quest here. It's so you guys understand. You see that profile that says Happy Proud Sunday, find out who they are and kill them. That's simple. Kill them. Anybody who's a pedophile should be killed. What's up, Aga? Especially when they're somebody who's a pedophile running around saying, I'm proud to be a pedophile. It's pretty fucking disgusting. And literally, what good could they possibly bring the world when they have that attitude? Kill them. Kill them viciously, viciously, violently kill them. You know, these Israeli cowards are good at hiding. You know, they're good at the shadows. And trust me, this is Israeli at the same time. This is definitely Israeli. Friar. Because, like I said yesterday, you can't blame Israel. Although Israel is one of the words that's acceptable to say. Because if I said the actual, the Jays, the friars, then it would be a big deal. But we need to figure out who these people are and just eliminate them. Do the job that society doesn't do. As Palestinians yearn for a leader, top candidate remains behind bars. Egypt accuses Israel of daily ceasefire violations. Gee, you'd think? Let's see what Egypt says. And it's weird because Egypt is, the Israeli bitch boy, the mediator. It's always Egypt that mediates the ceasefire or that steps into whatever. Egypt should absolutely have nothing to do with Israel. Egypt should be one of the first ones to come to the Palestinians' defense based on the historical narrative. And I would guarantee if you asked your average Egyptian civilian, they would say the same thing. Yeah, fuck Israel, fuck everything about them. I wish they were gone. I'm embarrassed by the fact my government keeps working with them. I am embarrassed that the headlines say Egyptians this, that, and the other. Because as Egyptians, we want nothing to do with these fucking assholes. At the Doha, U.S. envoy Tom Barak states, Israel can claim it's a democracy, but a benevolent Israel can claim it's a democracy, but a benevolent monarchy works best in this region. A benevolent monarchy. What does that even mean? Let's see. Obviously, benevolent is describe someone or something that is kind, generous, and shows goodwill or a desire to do good for others. That's just embarrassing. That's embarrassing that's how they're presenting it. It should be that way. Yeah, sure. At the Doha Forum, Egyptian Foreign Minister Badar Abdelati called for the expedited deployment of International Stabilization Forces (ISF) in the Gaza Strip. He argued that without such a presence on the ground, Israel is able to, quote, violate the ceasefire every day while placing similar responsibility on Hamas. Abdelati urged that the ISF be positioned along the, quote, yellow line, the boundary established after Israel's October 10th withdrawal that divides Gaza between Israel-held territories and areas controlled by Hamas. I mean, I would just love to see this Hamas structure and leadership that controls this area. I'd love to see, what they're saying is the system that's controlling, areas controlled by Hamas. According to him, this proposal is gaining support among countries that might contribute troops, especially since many reluctant to deploy deep inside Western Gaza. Many reluctant to deploy deep inside Western Gaza's red zone. He emphasized that Egypt envisions a peacekeeping mission, not a peace enforcement mission operation. Abdelati suggested disarmament of Hamas could only be realistic if it occurred voluntarily, which he described as unlikely under current conditions. What is, like, see, he's saying all these good things, right? And then he comes out with, well, yeah, we have to disarm Hamas. Hamas doesn't do anything. Literally. I tried to show it yesterday. But this notion that Hamas even attacked Israel on October 7th is not backed up or validated by any information anywhere. Any any provable, narrative. The footage that you're shown from that day doesn't actually show anything. Like, it shows a lot of setups. It shows a lot of scenes that, if it's narrated properly, it could then push a narrative. But you wouldn't, if I just showed you that footage, you would have no idea what you're looking at. I'm done with this. I watched that one video. Is like the definitive, this is what happened on October 7th. Here's the footage to show you that Israel was in fact attacked. And the first piece of footage they show you is a body camera with a, whatever it's called, not an M16, but an AK-47 sticking out, and a white car, of course, because it's all either white or blue cars used in this event. A white car comes driving up. Oh, look, we have another friar on here. Cody Cohen is here. Cody Cohen, the little dick friar who likes raping children. But the car pulls up, and supposedly the guy shoots at the car, 4 or 5 shots or something. And then it immediately switches to the car's camera, showing that same scene from the driver's standpoint. And this video was made 11 days after, it's October 18th, I guess. And so somehow, within that 11 days, they were able to get the footage from the random Israeli, as well as the body cam footage from Hamas. And they use that several times in their narrative that oh, look, here's some more body cam footage from Hamas. Where is Hamas uploading this body cam footage? Why? From a manipulation standpoint, it makes no sense. It doesn't make them look tougher. It doesn't make them look like they're it makes it look like they were capable of something, but since then they haven't done shit. It's literally weakness from every level. So why would they do that? Without that footage, Israel's ability to prove what happened is drastically reduced. So much so that it's actually the first video that they show you. So this is like their number one piece of proof. The number one thing that they think they can show us, that we're going to go, oh my God, I can't imagine if I was driving down the road and somebody with an AK-47 started firing at my car. Oh, I can relate to that. It's shocking. Egypt accuses of Israel. Netanyahu says Israel and Hamas will soon begin second phase of Gaza ceasefire. Oh, yeah? Is that what Netanyahu says? This is Yahoo News Canada. Let's see. Tel Aviv, Israel. Israeli Prime Minister, bitch-ass, douchebag, motherfucking piece of shit, Benjamin motherfucker, asshole, pedo Netanyahu, said on Sunday in Jerusalem that Israel and Hamas are, quote, very shortly expected to move second phase of the ceasefire after Hamas returns the remains of the last hostage being held in Gaza. Just think about that in general. With as difficult as their situation is, with everything they have going on, with all the bombs being dropped and the barely able to eat and constantly under fucking bullet fire and everything that's going on, why are they keeping the remains of a random hostage? What would be the purpose of that? And for Israel to then make a big deal out of getting a dead body back. I mean, how do we know it's not buried under tons of rubble and shit? Pretty sure they get killed. No, not in that footage. But again, you think that any of that footage is real is fucking stupid. It's not real. It's all organized. It's all set up. That's why each of the shots you get is only like 15 seconds long at the most. So there's no chance of you focusing on any like inconsistency or any, it's literally bullshit. The idea that Hamas used paragliders to bypass easily one of the greatest defense forces capabilities, illegal walls in the world. Like, that's fucking stupid. And just in case you were like me and you think that's fucking stupid, good old Hamas, just like always, releases a video showing them training with the paragliders. Just in case you might be thinking Israel's lying or something. Nope, Hamas releases the video like, yeah, we did this too. It's so embarrassingly stupid. But this is how they present it to us. So again, Israel is just trying to get those hostage remains back. I mean, come on. Who believes that shit? Who falls for that? Who thinks it's possible that Hamas, after 2 years now, remember those hostages have been held for over 2 years. 2 years and a few months at this point. Those poor hostages. And who knows when those hostages supposedly died, right? We don't know which hostages they're talking about and when they supposedly died or how they died or whatever. But we're talking about Hamas keeping the remains of a hostage for over a year, easily over a year. Who does that? What kind of sick shit is that? Why would they do that? What would ever be the benefit, the point, the strategic position to keep a bunch of dead bodies that you got to lug around with you? And those who think I'm like lying or something, remember that in 2020, might have been 2023, might have been 2022. I think it was earlier in 2023, in like June of 2023. There was an Israeli kid, a teenager, late teens, early 20s, was driving through the Gaza Strip, running people off the road, chasing people down, picking fights, driving like a fucking idiot. Why? Because he was an Israeli. And he was drunk. And he was out drunk driving, causing a ruckus when he crashed. And, who knows whether he died in the crash or he died on the way to the hospital. Either way, one less is a good thing. But his body was supposedly taken from the hospital. Somebody stole the body. And in response to it, Israel was prepared to do the October 7th response in order to get the dead body back. And they threatened that there was like a 3-day window or something. Well, it had to be less than 3 days because that body has to be in the ground within 72 hours of death. But they had the time to get the they had the time to return the body, and Israel was gearing up for the full-on invasion and all that, and then lo and behold, the body shows back up. There's no footage of anybody dropping the body off or anything, like almost like it's a fake fucking story. And when they saw the response to, from the people, when they're saying we're about to invade and cause genocide in Gaza over getting this hostage body back, or not even hostage, this aggressor's body back, the response, I would imagine, was you can't do that. We're not gonna have the sympathy that we need if you do that. You're gonna look like the motherfuckers you are for doing it. Just the fact that you're thinking about doing that says everything. But if you guys actually do that, we're not going to be able to whitewash this enough. You need something where there are Israeli casualties, and that we can build off of. So then the body just reappears, right? Like again, even the fact that Israel wouldn't have a 24-hour watch around said hospital, cameras set up, so that if somebody does drop off the body, they can then find out who those people were and exact punishment on them. That's how vindictive and petty Israel is. So why, and even that would be like, that would be proper procedure, right? If there's, if somebody steals the dead body of an important person in our narrative, we're not just going to go, okay, that body better show up, and when I open my eyes, it better be there. And the people that took it would be charged. They would have to deal with the repercussions of stealing a dead body, at the very least. That's not even considering it's Israeli and all the extra points added when it's an Israeli body. Very little chance, and if they are alive, they're never going to be the same again. Did you hear what I said? I said the remains. They're not alive. They are remains. And there were never any hostages to begin with. That whole narrative of the hostages is fake. You know how you know it? Because there were 2 hostages that were consistently allowed to have cameras so they could tell their narrative. And they were actually basically a part of that video narrative from the kidnapping. There's footage of them being kidnapped. Isn't that crazy? And that they just happen to just keep giving them cameras and letting them. And every time they give you the camera, we're not seeing a little hole 3 feet wide, 40 feet long, 5 feet tall that we just have to sit in with our arms tied behind our backs and our feet bound, and we're underground and we don't even get to stretch and we don't get to see anything. We don't get to... No, that's not what they show. And if you follow the history of it, see, again, I think a lot of you have only been paying attention to this scenario since October 7th. But this narrative is so much older, and these tactics are just being reused over and over again. But if you just follow it from the October 7th narrative, and you look at the hostages narrative, when you know that Israel would be willing to, commit genocide in order to retrieve a dead body, It's weird. It's like part of me is missing the chewing noise. You know what I mean? Like it's too quiet. Like I don't hear it. It's strange. It's the strangest part about this to me is where's the chewing?
Fucking gas station charged $8.
Then why'd you buy them? It was stupid. I would have went and got them. I could have just gone to the store. It's not. Whatever. Thank you. But when you know what Israel is capable of doing to retrieve remains, that they're going to bring genocide to retrieve remains, you would think if they were given an opportunity to get all of the hostages back safely, they would take every opportunity to do that.
Nick, let Broly out.
Nick, can you let Broly out, please?
Yeah.
Thank you. Well, you know what that means, though, right?
What?
You're going to have to let him back in. Thank you. But when you know that almost immediately, what? That's great, isn't it?
There's only two good parts about, one is there's less food, and two, it's a lot easier to let the dogs in.
That's true. Don't you miss the quacking? Isn't it weird how you
I really don't.
you don't miss having that just not miss it, but like, isn't it weird that noise isn't happening?
Actually, it's a lot more peaceful.
In the background? It's a lot quieter for sure.
It's a lot more peaceful because I don't want to hear.
Quack, 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 quack. Quack, 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 quack.
Yeah, it's like this.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Thanks for getting it right for me.
He didn't do an accurate portrayal, though.
No, yes, there was that, but there's also the quacking. There was times when you would have thought it was a duck. But they were offered the ability to get all of the hostages returned to them. No issue. We will return all of them. Just please stop dropping bombs indiscriminately all over
schools and our hospitals.
Right. Just please stop dropping bombs. So Israel's initial response to this opportunity to get the hostages back and end this all real, basically peacefully, that I'm sure there would be repercussions. There would be people that would have to pay for the hostages and all that. Sure, whatever. It wouldn't lead to genocide, that's for sure. But they had the opportunity to be the better people, be the most compassionate, moral army in the world, be the chosen people that are the best of us. They had that opportunity, and they declined. When given the opportunity to get all of the precious hostages back, that apparently they don't worry about hitting with bombs. If somehow they know where all of the hostages are, somehow. So when they drop their bombs, they know their bombs aren't hitting hostages, I guess. But when offered that deal, Israel's response was to say, we don't make deals with terrorists. Fuck you, we're going to bomb you more. So they started dropping more bombs. They literally said, we are going to drop more bombs in response to this. And then they did. And you just have, you have this narrative of these poor hostages that are worth more than anything else in this world. They're more important than an entire population of Gazans. At a later point, Israel rescues 4 hostages by killing almost 300 Palestinian civilians. They go into a town where hostages are supposedly being kept. And they killed almost 300 civilians. Jesus Christ, why can't I say that word? Hang on. Can't do it. I was hoping Thaddeus would show up. Where's Thaddeus? The only reason I give a shit about Thaddeus in this regard is because of the way that the shit he used to say. The way that he tried to make me the bad guy for calling this shit out. You know, and so many of the people were so keen on separating. You can't say Israel and Jewish are together. You can't say that. You can't say that. It's not all of them. Yeah. Like 99% though. Right? Can we say it's like 99%? And so after they refuse the initial hostage deal, this is when the show really picks up. So about 2 weeks after October 7th, the first of the hostages is released. And I think it's 2 hostages, but it might just be one. It might just be one old woman who was like, this is way more than I signed up for. I do not like this anymore. I don't want to do this anymore. That, or this was the plan all along because they needed to set the narrative. And that's what she did. Oh, look, the pedophile here. The pedophile is saying he's eating a steak for breakfast because anybody gives a shit about what he does to refuel his pedophile body.
Steak for breakfast?
Yeah, a bloody steak. Because, you know.
Is it the inner thigh of a 12-year-old?
I doubt it. I think if anything, he's not the one that makes the bodies disappear. That's James Napier. James Napier is the one that turns the bodies into jerky and shit. But you do see that of all the things that I'm saying, of course, the one that identifies as the proud pedo and the Israeli is the one sitting here trying to change the subject, trying to get us to stop talking about this situation in particular. And this is one they don't like. They don't like when I do this. They don't like when I expose the hostages narrative for what it is. But the woman gets released. The first thing she does is turn around and shake the hand of her captors before because the way it always works is like they go to an agreed upon square and Hamas is on one side and Israel is on the other, and Hamas releases the hostage and the hostage walks across the square to the Israel side. And Israel never follows they don't use a drone to follow the Hamas mobile back to Hamas headquarters. They don't throw a little, shoot a little tracker dart or something on it. Nothing. But she is then interviewed. And of course, like I said, she shakes the hand of her captors because that's what you would do, right? Every person that's ever assaulted you or whatever, you were like, hey, let me shake your hand. Mm-hmm. Right? Let me touch you any more than I have to touch you. But she says that they were violent initially, during the kidnapping, but they've been nothing but hospitable since. She had gotten injured in the initial capture because, of course, she was proudly fighting back. And you know how old lady bruises heal up really quickly? They don't go from a little tiny mark to a big giant strawberry. Oh wait, no, they do that. I'm sorry, I got that backwards. But according to her, all of her old lady bruises and marks had healed up in that 2 weeks. They were providing them with ample food, water, comfort, and most importantly, everyone over a certain age had a doctor assigned to them, their own personal doctor assigned to them, to ensure that they get all of their heart disease medications and diarrhea medications and all the old people medications that old people take, along with, I'm sure, some painkillers. Hamas was making sure that these Israelis were well fed, comfortable, and had all of their medication, while at the same time, stories are coming out about how they have to amputate children's limbs without anesthesia because the hospitals are being targeted. Oh, I did leave something out. I'm sorry. Hamas, when they offered to release the hostages, it was either before or after. It was like they were a 1-2 punch. But the narrative was that if Israel didn't stop bombing, then Hamas would start decapitating hostages on film and then presenting it to the world. Of course, they never did. But of course, they never did. And of course, they didn't make that threat. Hamas is Israel. Hamas, everything that we hear about Hamas is Israel doing it. It's like Al Qaeda, except it's even more controlled. Don't ever ask why ISIS and Al Qaeda are driving around in brand new Toyotas. Don't ask where they get all that brand new military equipment from. They're so determined to live in the past with all of their relics, all of their clothing, all of their belief structures, all their buildings, and the way they treat their women and their children and how they live their lives is always based on this really old philosophy, except for when it comes to war. Then they have all the modern day conveniences. Interesting how that works. But it was that hey, we'll give you back the hostages, but if you don't, if you don't, just stop bombing, and if you don't stop bombing, we're going to start killing them one by one on camera. And that was when Israel was like, fuck you, we're just going to kill more. Because that would make sense, right? It would make sense that Israel would respond like that. Wouldn't that what you would do? If your people were in that situation? And you knew you were the superior one. That's the thing. It's like it's one thing when the hostages are the only bargaining chip that they have. They don't have any sort of credible military threat or political threat that they can impose on Israel. So for Israel to be the vastly superior side of this from a military standpoint and literally have no fear of anything with their Iron Dome and their David Sling and their broken arrow or their arrow technology. Is it broken arrow or is it arrow? I can't remember. It makes sense that this guy is retarded. It with a C on the end. It makes sense that this guy is retarded, says the J Lad Cable. I mean, again, do you guys see that the Friar tactic is to make unsubstantiated mental claims? Like, literally the only thing they know how to do is say, oh, well, you have mental problems. If you're sitting here spitting out facts and remembering how things were, and, I can't debunk anything you're saying because what you're saying is true, it must mean you have mental problems. That's how that works, right? And it's just regular old people, just regular old white guys in Pennsylvania or in Idaho or wherever it may be, California, just regular old white guys that are mad at me because I'm thinking we should stop the genocide and that Americans' tax dollars should be spent on Americans. Like, to think about, why would anyone, any civilian, any just regular person outside of a friar and a pedophile, it's Sunday morning, it's 10 o'clock in the morning, and unless you're on the East Coast, it's earlier than that. If you're in California, it's 7 in the morning. It's Sunday morning at 7 in the morning, and your thing is like, I'm gonna go on Guy's page and talk shit about the guy that thinks we should kill pedos and stop the genocide. Like, who's gonna do that? Who fits that bill? So then, I don't know, maybe a month or two later, I think it was at the 50-day point, I believe. On the 50th day, maybe it was the 100th day, I can't remember. But there's right, and they were up a lot earlier because I went live late. So if I would have went live at the normal time, that means they would have been up since at least 5:30. Good thing you know that. But I think it was day 50. On day 50, they released 50 hostages, or maybe it was 100 hostages. I can't remember which one it was. There's so much bullshit. I'm sorry if I don't get all of the details 100% true. But a week prior to this release, the Israeli media machine was making this big deal out of the fact that the parents of one of the hostages, who happened to be a little 12-year-old girl, they were having a birthday party for her, like she was there, with lots of relatives and lots of fun. They were cooking. They were having a great time. When the cameras came, they turned on the waterworks. And remember, fuck. I remember what I was saying. God damn it. Yeah, I know that part. Oh, the little girl's birthday party. They were having a birthday party for a little girl who they supposedly they don't even know if she's alive or not. But they're having a birthday party for her where everybody's celebrating and having a good time like she was there. What sense does that make? How like if something happened to my child, there's no way I'm having their birthday party. Like, that's just sick.
Yeah.
That's sick. And of course the children or the parents of this child had been made like celebrities by it. They had gone around and they had met the leaders of Germany and the leaders of a bunch of different places, and these people were getting paraded around like they had done something special. They benefited tremendously from either their child being kidnapped or allowing their child to be used in this operation, which to me makes a lot more sense, right? Because a week later, she's one of the 100 released, and she's also the one who the news focuses in on her. She's this little redheaded girl who has been so traumatized by what she's gone through that she can only speak in whispers. And so her dad, who is an Israeli soldier, her dad has to do all the speaking for her. So when the news asks a question, she leans over to her dad, and she goes, whisper, whisper, whisper. And her dad goes, well, she said, and you go, man, she must whisper really fast. And after about, maybe a week of this, if that, The story just disappears. Gone. Nobody talks about it anymore. And of course, this is the first time that so again they have the square set up and they do it over in the cover of darkness. So again, you can't see just how fucked up it really is. Daytime would show a lot more what the fuck is going on aspects of this. But you know, they do the hostage release 2 at a time. So the hostages hold hands and they walk across the square. Either they have a Hamas agent on either side of them. And of course, Hamas, you know, they wear their khakis. They wear their black balaclavas with the bright green headband that goes around their, you know, shoot me in the forehead headband. Because that makes sense, right? But what ends up happening is, like, almost immediately. Let's see if I can find it. Let's see. Israeli hostages. Let's see. Shaking hands, hugging. Saluting. All right, let's see if this pops up. Oh, this is okay. So this is the original one. Funny, I hadn't seen this one. This one didn't come up very often, but this is freed Israeli hostage shake hands with.
It happened as 85-year-old Yocheved.
Yeah, this is the woman.
Watch. Freed Israeli hostage shakes hands with a Hamas terrorist who held her captive.
Yep. Gotta love those Hamas terrorists that you don't see their identity.
79-year-old Marie Cooper.
I told you it was 2. I thought it was 2.
Just hours later, Mrs. Lifshitz, looking
Mrs. Lipschitz.
and told reporters about her harrowing ordeal.
Her harrowing ordeal. Listen.
She was taken on the back of a motorbike with her body.
This broad was taken on the back of a motorcycle. You've been on the back of several motorcycles in your life. How easy is that, do you think, to for this old lady to just hang on to the back of the motorcycle of the captor?
The last time I got on a bike, my cousin, Nick, took me for a ride on.
That must have been weird without your shirt on. What?
But I felt weird because it's my cousin. I'm sitting on the back, and he's crazy. So I'm hanging on for dear fucking life. And I felt weird because it's my cousin, you know? But no way. I was hanging on for dear life.
Right, because you would have fallen off.
Yes.
And he wasn't like escaping a situation where he's got a hostage and he's trying not to get captured by the IDF, was he?
No.
Are you sure?
He was just trying to escape.
There was no IDF anywhere.
No idea.
No idea.
Not in St. Clair Shores or Roseville or wherever the fuck he lives. Out that way.
So, like, this is where, again, I demand more. I don't think I'm out of line for demanding more. I don't think I'm out of line for saying, hey, how do you kidnap somebody on the back of a fucking motorcycle?
He even said to me, could you hang on any tighter? So yeah, no, that woman was hanging on for dear fucking life.
She would have had to be.
She had to be.
And she's old. Look at her. She's literally in a wheelchair now. So this wheelchair broad was sitting her old ass on the back of a motorbike as it's going through what I would imagine are like deserts and all that other that's happening.
That was 5 years ago. I don't think I'd get on the back of his bike today.
You couldn't.
No, it was an accident.
It's 5 years ago.
Yeah.
When was that? When was that?
Gone over there for something. Remember I saw the little axolotls?
No,
Those little guys.
I have no idea. I would have been furious. That's probably why I didn't know about it.
Doing something to our car.
Yeah. No. You fucking stupid.
With her legs on one side and her height.
Okay, let's see.
Told reporters about her harrowing
Harrowing
ordeal
experience.
as her daughter translated.
She was taken on the back of a motorbike.
So again, why can't she do it? Why does her daughter have to do it? Her daughter, who is the younger, more recently serving IDF agent.
With her body, with her legs on one side and her height on another side.
Wait, what?
Told reporters about her harrowing ordeal as her daughter translated.
She was taken on the back of a motorbike with her body, with her legs on one side and her height on another side.
She said she went through hell.
With her legs on one. So she was. How was she on the back of the bike? Legs on one side, hide on the other? Did she say hide?
I don't know, probably. She meant her ass.
How do you do that? Can somebody please show me footage of this?
Oh my God, this kid is pleading his case with me. So I blamed you. I'm sorry, Dad sucks.
If you keep asking, we add more time. Remember how I told you that last time? So I guess it's 11:30 then, huh?
Oh, not 11:30.
How would you even know?
Do you understand who that is, right? We are against you.
No, we're not.
We are a unified front against you. Okay. Keep that in mind.
I tried, Pickle. I tried. Wow. Jess is losing her mind.
Yeah, it's easy to do.
She keeps posting stuff.
Huh?
She keeps posting long stuff.
I don't care. This is what happens when you
Yeah.
have a she's retarded. She doesn't think right. You're dealing with a 9-year-old at best.
Oh, and she sent me another message that bitch sent to her. Wow. Dragged my name into it too. She didn't drag it. She did.
Yeah, remember it.
Oh, I do.
Okay, well, next time she shows up, when she's all nicey-nicey to your face and you're all nicey-nicey back, I'm going to say something.
Early stages of her captivity, she was beaten with a wooden
Good
pole.
morning.
I got to see this one for myself. I would assume so. You feel taller. I feel tired. You seem about right. Morning, Bucky. How are you? See, now that he has to wait till 11, he sleeps in really late.
Right.
He does it on purpose. He wakes up, he sees what time it is, and he goes back to sleep. Yep. So this is going to be. Remember, this is 2 weeks after she was held. She was taken. This is now 2 weeks later. Listen to what they say.
With her body, with her legs on one side and her height on another side.
She said she went through hell in the early stages of her captivity. She was beaten with a wooden pole, and her jewelry was stolen.
Beaten
She was
with a wooden
separated
pole.
from her 83-year-old husband, who is still in captivity.
Hmm.
Finally, she was taken into the labyrinth of tunnels beneath
The
Gaza.
labyrinth
We
of
walked
tunnels.
for a few kilometers on the wet ground. There are a huge network of tunnels underneath. It looks like a spider web. My mom said that she was with about 25 hostages. She was treated well and that the people were kind to her.
Okay, wait. She was beaten with a wooden pole. She was made to walk on the wet ground. Her jewelry was stolen, but they treated her well. They were kind to her. Can anybody explain to me where this woman's wounds are? She was beat with a wooden pole and shows no signs of it. She doesn't even look like... She looks like it's another day at the office. She's not happy to be free. She's not showing any sort of concern. She's just emotionless. Just do. Can't wait for this to be over. I didn't like the situation. I think it was... As much as I think it's just an old friar lady complaining that she signed on to something she didn't realize she was signing up for, I think they did it on purpose because someone like me is always going to ask, well, what about the medication? Because it doesn't matter. You know, this goes back to the cruise ship in San Francisco Bay during COVID. Remember? It had been its full cruise, and then they were made to sit in the harbor for like 2 months. Remember that? It was for a long fucking time. I can't remember what it was. And initially it was 3,500 passengers on board. And when dumbass like me started asking questions about things, the news presented Angela Actor. Her name was Ann Actor. Angela Actor is somehow the correspondent. I don't know how they picked her. I don't know how it was, how it was all set up that she was going to be the one to do. They didn't have anybody else. They weren't interviewing a bunch of other people, just this one Angela Actor. You know what? I want to, yeah. I wonder if she actually exists. I wonder if I'll be able to find her. Oh, I lost it. Fuck. Lost the page I was on. Alright, fuck it then. Let's see. Angela Actor. It's just going to show me a list of actors named Angela. Angela Actor COVID. Let's see if I put in COVID if it pops up. Nope. Actress Angela Kinsey from the TV series The Office tested positive. When I put in Angela Actor, she was the one that popped up just normally. So then I put Angela Actor COVID, and she's the number one thing that pops up. Gosh, that's strange. The Office. Angela Actor COVID San Francisco. Right, San Francisco ship. Myron, a special forces team is sent to rescue a reporter, Angela. Oh, is this it? No, well, this is a Facebook article, so it's not gonna work. So it's showing me that the cruise ship docks in San Francisco, but it's not showing me her. Here we go. Let's see what this has to say. Oh shit! I just lost my other one.
What is the sneakiest hero to put in the pocket? Hero Knight chips the...
After spending 5 United States is bracing for the arrival of the Grand Princess. That's a cruise ship carrying at least 21 patients with COVID-19. It's set to dock in Oakland after spending 5 days stranded at sea off San Francisco.
And more than 3,500 passengers.
Wait, okay, so after spending 5 days stranded at sea, so this is something I just need you to understand. These people aboard had no idea of a COVID coming. And people, when they go on trips like this, they will take as much medication as needed and then maybe a few days more just in case something strange happens, right?
Today, this will decide random fruit.
Why did that just do that? But they don't take, like, if you have your heart pills and shit, you don't take your full prescription because the shit can get lost. You lose your luggage and your medication is gone. Right? It's just, that's not how things work. You know what? I'm gonna reset because this is bullshit. So let's reset. Pedophiles